What's up, Fort Knox? Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to be back with you guys. And I know it's been a very long time, but as you can see, I've been very busy because while I've been gone, your girl turned 40. I am officially out of my 30s. I am 40 years old. It is, I know, hard to believe for a lot of people. It's something that people have been saying to me for the last 5 or 6 days. They're like, what? There's no way. And I think because I just never really talked about my age before, because I just always thought of myself as just kind of ageless, and it's just never been something that I really was just like, okay, until 40. Like, this is a milestone birthday, but it's so strange. The strangest thing happened. I'll be honest with you. For a while, I was really dreading turning 40. I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, what have I accomplished? Well, what haven't I accomplished? And it's so crazy to me because I have accomplished a lot. I know, people probably thinking it like, what? But I did. I have accomplished a lot. And I had to say this actually at my birthday party. I had to say, I always, have been in a rush and trying to do things and never really taking things in and never trying to just stop and smell the roses, or like never really basking in the fact that I've done something, just on to the next, on to the next. And I've always been an overachiever. I've always felt like I was rushing through my life. And there's a reason for that. I will get into that in just a little bit. But something happened when I turned 40. Literally the morning that I turned, the next day, the morning of my birthday, I woke up, and I keep saying this. I know like a lot of my friends have heard me say it a lot, but I felt light as air. It's the weirdest thing. I woke up and I just felt like, you can relax. I really do. I've just felt light as air, and I've been on a cloud since Saturday, which is when I turned 40, April 24th. I am a Taurus, and I share birthday with Cedric the Entertainer and Barbara Streisand and Kelly Clarkson and a few other people, faces that you might recognize, Shirley MacLaine. But it's crazy because, as a trans woman, I really did not think that I was going to make it to 40. And it wasn't until I was talking to one of my best friends, Isis King, and I was saying to her, she was scolding me for something, and she said to me, sis, you didn't think you were going to live this long, did you? Now, this is something that I think of every single day. It's something that I've always carried with me. I think of it all the time. Nobody knows it. I've never talked to anybody about it. And it's something I've always kept to myself. But I think about it every day. And because we are sisters in the same struggle, she understood that, the average life expectancy for a trans woman of color is 35 years old. 35. That's short. And I probably should have felt this relief after I turned 35, but I just was still just on it. Like, I gotta do the stuff I gotta do, I made history, at 38 years old. I sold out concerts and, did all these different things. And I kind of still felt like it wasn't enough. Secretly, I did. But it's so crazy now because I really feel like I can just relax. I made it past the mark, I actually never saw myself as an elderly woman. Never. I never thought of myself as an elderly person, never thought of myself as like growing old and sitting in a rocking chair with my grandkids. None of that was never a thought in my head. I just thought, I'm on this earth for a very short period of time. I gotta make my mark, I gotta make it known, I gotta matter. And it's something that I sometimes get emotional about just thinking about it, like even right now. Because I have such amazing friends, and I love being around my friends, and that includes my sisters, my siblings. I say this all the time, we are sisters by blood, but we are friends by choice. And it is an amazing group of people that I have around me. But I always thought to myself, I'm going to die before all these people. I know that. I just felt that. I just always felt that I'm going to be, and I don't know what the future might hold, but that's not, it was never a wish. It was just like reality for me. I'm very much a realist, you know. I am a hopeless romantic, as people say all the time. I am, you know, somebody that has a little bit like, oh, living the fairy tale, all this stuff, but I am also very much a realist. And I just never saw myself that way. And now I just feel like, wow, you made it to 40. Like, girl, let's make it to 50. Let's make it to 60. Let's make it to 80. Whatever. You know, let's make it to 100. And let me just explain to you why that statistic is there, that trans women of color don't live long to not really past 35. And it's funny because when I first came around, when I first was introduced to other trans women, I never saw any elderly trans women ever. Like, I never like knew an elderly trans woman. And this was back in the early 2000s. And the reason why, you know, various reasons, you know, back in the day, a lot of girls used to put, you know, foreign substances in their bodies that will affect their lungs and their livers and all this stuff because they, you know, couldn't get it, you know, legally or like the regular medical way, the right way to do things that are beneficial to the health and with a trained professional, and things that weren't going to hurt their hearts or the lungs or the livers and all these things, and, you know, with different hormones and all this stuff. But the number one reason that trans women of color didn't live long is because they were being killed, and still even today. Trans women of color, last year we exceeded the number of trans women killed, the record anyway, over 40-something women. And it's just the most, I've talked about it here on my channel before, you guys can go back and look at those videos. But that's a big part of it, that a lot of trans women didn't make it to past their 35th birthday. And that's really sad when you think about it. But I'm telling you, I have such a gumption in me now to like completely destroy the odds. I don't recognize myself right now. I don't have, like Wendy Williams says, I don't know who this girl is, but I love her. I really don't. I don't recognize it because I spent so much time last year feeling a little depressed because I wasn't being able to perform and all these other different things were going on, or things that had failed or whatever. But I feel so amazing right now. I'm on a cloud that I do not wish to come down from. It hasn't even been a week yet. I'm not coming down from this cloud at all. I could promise you guys. So you guys said you wanted more content, and I can't promise you that. I promise you, you're going to get it. I have so much to share with you. I have behind the scenes of my birthday photo shoot. I also have my 40th birthday party, which was absolutely amazing. Some of you have seen the pictures already on Instagram. Go to my Instagram if you haven't already. But also there are there's the behind the scenes of that also, or the actual party, and also the making of my dress, which was Knoxx Couture, and also my shoes, which were Knoxx Couture. I will share them here on the channel, I promise you. But you know, I'm really just overwhelmed with all the love that I have received, and all the, you know, the things that I have planned that you guys are working on that I can't even talk about right now. I'm so excited to share all these things with you guys. I'm so damn excited. But I also want to share with you guys the things that I know for sure now at 40. Oprah always talks about what I know for sure. And I will tell you this, what I know for sure is nobody believes in me more than I believe in myself. And there have been points and times, and no one should, you know. There have been points and times where my friends were just like, you can do this and you can do that. Like, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? And I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I'm all this stuff. Now I have this thing where it's like, I'm my biggest cheerleader. I have so many people cheerleading for me, and it's amazing. But I am definitely my biggest cheerleader now. I believe in myself more than I ever have. What I also know for sure is that things get better. I spent so much time in my teens worried about how I was going to get out of like the situation that I grew up in, and like how I was going to make it to adulthood and be who I wanted to become. Then in my 20s, I became who I wanted to become, and then I dealt with, you know, romantic problems and being treated terrible ways by men and not being appreciated, undervalued, and not really seeing myself for who I was, and I made a lot of mistakes. And then in my 30s were for the lessons. In the 30s, I didn't quite get it all the way right, but I am not in a rush to get through that stuff anymore, which is so great. It's an amazing feeling. Trust me, when you get to 40, if you are already at 40, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't wish to be back in my 30s for anything in the world, honestly. But I also feel like, you know, I do understand that things do get better. They do. Everything is a temporary situation, the good and the bad. Enjoy it while you have it. Enjoy it while it's lasting. Enjoy the memories, live in those memories, appreciate those memories, and know that you're going to go on and make even more memories. Know that you're going to go on and enjoy life even more, because those great moments are fleeting, but also remember that those things that are challenging and those things that may be detrimental or things that are just, you feel are so horrible, those things are also very fleeting. They go away. And you learn the lessons from it. Think about what you get out of it and not the action itself, the mistake itself. It's not about the mistake. It's about moving on and growing from that and learning and getting the lesson. It's always about the lesson. And so I definitely know that for sure. I have so many people around me and so many amazing friends, but my birthday party consisted of 25 people. And while I would have liked to have had a 200 guests and a black tie gala, because of the pandemic, we couldn't do all of that. But I just realized, my friend circle has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, but the quality has been better, and the time that we spend in the conversations that we have are different than they were, and I just love that. And I'm just so excited for what we all have in store for the future. It's just amazing. But yeah, that's just a tidbit of it. I have more to share, of course, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'm just so happy to be back with you guys, and I promise you, for the next 40 years, you're going to get the absolute best of me. You're going to get so much more content. You get so much more of my life, and the best of me. It's yet to come. I promise you. I love you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Watch another video. Get to know me even more. And also follow me on Instagram, because I've got things happening on a daily there too. And I love you guys so much. Bye.